Welcome to General Admission. Today is March 21st. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Brett.
St. Patrick's Day. You mean
Did you listen to Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly?
this is the first year I didn't because there's been way too much new music. So I was very bad this year and didn't go to Warriors Code like I usually do.
Yeah, that's what I did. I listened to like the first six, maybe. It's a great album. Like
It's
I think
so good.
I can't I was gonna say people forget, but maybe it's just me. But like I think shipping up to Boston gets like slammed down your throats so much that like I kind of like almost roll my eyes at them. Then I put on the album like, no, this is just like really good punk rock with some like bagpipes hanging out. And yeah, it's really good.
It blew them up. Seemed like the
Yeah,
song like the Warriors Code, like Tessie was like the Red Sox 2004 song when they won it.
yeah, it's Boston as fuck.
Oh yeah.
To no one's surprise.
They have a ton of pride for their home city, that's for sure.
You love to see it. So you told me before the show that you have some breaking news, and
I
I don't know,
do.
I don't know what you're gonna say here. So
I was not
learning
expecting to
this.
hear this on a Sunday morning of all times as we record. But so friend of the pod, Jake, texted me and goes, I read somewhere that the Foo Fighters are close to naming their new drummers
Holy shit!
plural.
Whoa!
So he said it looks like
Rotating cast?
could be. So he said he's not sure if it's true or not, but he heard and read that it's going to be a somewhat split between Matt Cameron of Pearl Jam and Adam Willard of Angels and Airwaves, with
Whoa!
Cameron getting more of the shows and maybe Willard doing like the studio stuff,
That's pretty rad.
which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping it was going to be was it Rufus Rogers? No, Rufus.
Uh, I don't know.
He was at one of the live shows, but he was kind of like the most natural fit. It's like we're still holding out hope that that is who it eventually becomes. But for now, Matt Cameron's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
he's pretty spread thin with Pearl Jam, so I don't know
Right.
how permanent it is.
It sounds like they're kind of taking the Avenged Sevenfold route, who we will get into later, but where it's like get a couple big names and just have them, like you said, do studio work and tour, and then maybe like when the next album comes around, or maybe even an album after that, get someone more permanent.
Guess
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll have to
yeah.
see if they confirm this too. But I love Matt Cameron, so that'd be pretty cool.
Where did where did this news come from?
Good question. He just said he read it somewhere,
An
but
unnamed Twitter source.
I'm just gonna say it came from Jake.
Okay.
Jake originated it,
Jake spoke with Dave, and Dave told him.
or an unnamed Twitter source, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I guess we should expect to hear because they're touring a ton and like festival season is right around the corner. So
I guess I think so. That's why I'm not sure if it's just for these dates. It's Matt Cameron, or if like it's like a.
yeah,
I'm sure like when they make the announcement, they'll clarify that. At least I hope.
yeah. Um, are they on? I mean, they're on a ton of festivals. Obviously, we're gonna see them
Like
at one. Very
pretty
excited.
much like every festival this summer, they're headlining. It seems.
I'm trying to remember that festival we were talking about the other day that got announced. That's just like days and days of insane rock acts across
The
the
lineup's
board.
just incredible.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is though, but there's a chance that I go for work, so that would be really cool.
It's like
It's
the weekend before. See here now
I
after
think after. It's
after
in
right,
Kentucky. Kentucky?
like
Yeah.
Louisville,
Yeah. Louisville.
Louisville.
You gotta mumble it. But yeah, that would be cool. I've never been to Kentucky, so hopefully that happens. I can't think of the name. I don't know why I'm blanking.
I think I sent it to you on Instagram. I'm blinking too though,
Hmm. See if Kentucky Music Fest pulls anything up.
because I think Foo Fighters put it
That's
on
it.
their Instagram, right?
Louder Than Life.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
4 days of just like everybody we like.
yep. Yeah, Foo Fighters, Green Day, Tool, Avenged, Godsmack, Pantera, Queens of the Stone Age, Weezer, Limp Bizkit, Megadeth, Turnstile, Rancid, Falling in Reverse, who we'll also talk about later.
That'll be
311,
a fun
Pierce the
one.
Veil, Run the Jewels, Corey Taylor, Coheed, Royal Blood. God damn, it just keeps going. I'm not going to read all of these. Ooh, Flogging Molly, Dance Gavin Dance, Asking Alexandria.
Post St. Patrick's Day, Flag and Molly.
They're they're only allowed to play shows in March. AWOL Nation. I didn't know that they were still around. They have the song Sail, right? That was like the big one.
Maybe I was gonna say, aren't they like more indie than rock?
Yeah, it just wasn't a name I was really expecting to see. Wage War. Huh.
Do enjoy me some Wage War.
Yeah. I gotta start listening to them more. I think they'll be good once I start back at the gym, like I say every single episode. But
No, they're very good gym music.
this week's the week. I swear. Hold me to it. I don't know how, but yeah.
I'll just text you tomorrow morning. You go today?
Yeah. You honestly might have to. We talk every day anyway, so just sneak it in there.
This is true. How was the gym this morning? Tomorrow morning.
uh what else is going on? Decent amount of albums this week. Some EPs. Where should we start?
Muted myself there for a second.
I was wondering
uh, I guess
where
we
you
could
went.
start with Manchester since they announced a tour too.
Okay. I really like this EP. Yeah, they announced the tour with Jimmy Eat World, which is pretty cool.
It's not around here though, right? Isn't it like Queens for
Yeah,
us?
I think so. These city shows, man, they seem close in theory, but they're like not. It like could be a 20-minute drive if like the world didn't exist, and instead it's like an hour.
When it's like 10 miles away.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to trek in for Microwave this Friday to Brooklyn, but I'm really excited for that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Manchester Orchestra put out an EP. Do you have the name? I didn't write the name down. I'm blanking on it.
Oh no, I'm blanking too.
Um,
It wasn't The Way. That was the single
but it was 20 something minutes, maybe 5 songs, and
with a really cool YouTube video.
yeah,
The
uh,
Valley of Vision.
the value of vision. Cool.
Valley of
Valley,
Vision,
Valley. It the
which makes
YouTube
sense.
video. So they did like what's it called? Like a visual short film
Visual
with
album, they call it, right?
yeah, that's it. Thank you. Um on YouTube. I mean, it might be elsewhere, but it's kind of like it's very atmospheric. Like they're in like a forest for it, and then they're in a room for part of it, in a car driving along like these snowy mountains. And there's this little button in YouTube with 4 arrows, and you can click it and like look around. So you can see off the screen a little bit. It's not really showing you anything like groundbreaking. Like you can't do a full 360, but if you're losing yourself in the music, having that ability to like kind of turn your head left or right or up and down within the video really like enhances that feeling that like you're in it.
Was that during the song Rear View,
It was
the last
all
song,
it
or
was
the whole thing?
the whole thing. The button's there the whole time, and you can just kind of drag around and look up and down. But I did do it in rear view, and I looked down and like you could see the seat of the car is like has a hole in it, and there's like a spring there, and like if you look up, you could see the top of the windshield is cracked, like just little shit like that. But
Was it an Andy hole?
what?
Was it an Andy hole in the seat?
No, there was no one in the seat, which was the weird part. I guess you're
Hole
supposed.
hole.
God damn it, Brett. I couldn't figure out what you were doing with that one.
That was a little
It,
bit of a stretch.
it made well, I think do boats have a hull? think that's like a
I
boat
think they
term.
that's a thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's go with that. Maybe it was one of those car boats that they have, like we were just talking about Boston, like one of those Boston ones that can drive in the water and then come out.
And throw tea off of.
I mean, spoiler alert, the car does go in the water at the end.
It does.
Yeah. I thought it would be more of a splash. Maybe Michael Scott was driving and he was following the the GPS.
Great episode.
Great episode. There's a lake there.
Told me to turn.
It was so cool though. It was the film was by someone named Isaac Del Dietz, Isaac Dietz. I don't know, but shout out to Isaac. Did a good job. Um, it was just so cool, like getting lost in it like that. And even without the video, I've been putting this album on like first thing in the morning, like as I'm like making my coffee and like, you know,
It's a good ease into the day EP.
yeah, exactly. Because
Ease P.
it nice. We need more of
Ease
these.
play. There we go. Instead of extended play.
Nice. It's very like it's a very gradual build, but then there are like peaks and valleys. So it was nice. Nice morning listen. Definitely
They just
recommend.
they've been making some like really beautiful music, like their last three albums. I know they've been good for a long time, but like it's been like noticeably like calmer and like prettier.
Yeah.
I think is like the best way to put it. But like I like what they're like some bands would slow down and people would like get really pissed off. But for them it works, and I think their fans still love them for it.
Yeah. That I listened to the album before this, Million Masks, something like that. The Million Masks of Gold. And it was very much like in the same vein as this EP.
They started with a Black Mile to the Sun, the Black Mile to the Surface. Excuse me.
That was the first one where they like transitioned to this sound.
Yeah, like that's
Okay.
another good morning one if you want to put that on this week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I never listened to them a ton. For some reason their name like threw me. I don't know. They sounded like a bluegrass band or something.
I should have learned
I,
who they were because of Blink, because like they were on that. I think it was like them, Mike Hem, and Manchester Orchestra in like 2011.
oh damn.
Was it the Honda Civic tour?
I was at that.
You were blacked out for that though, so that's why you don't
Yeah,
remember.
that was the one. Oh, well, I guess I did see these guys. I was supposed to see them open for brand new ones, but then they announced a second show the day after with the front bottoms opening, so I sold these tickets and bought those.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. But I would like to see these guys, especially now, like seeing this music done live and like vibing out to it seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Too bad it's not around us, because it would be so cool to see them with Jimmy World.
I mean, it's not impossible to go to Queens.
It's just like such a pain. Like when we were younger, we'd be like, "Hey, we'll just hop on a train." Now it's like we're older. It's like, oh, it's making
Yeah.
so much effort to get out there.
Yeah. I'm
Like
also
Marco
like
feels the same way about coming from Queens to like Jersey shows.
we could just see them in Sydney, Australia tomorrow. Or is that today? I don't know how Australia works. It could be today there. It could be
Down under
tomorrow
DUI.
there. Driving a scooter.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that. Not us,
No,
but
no, no.
if you're reading along,
Um,
you'll get it.
yeah. Where they're playing Summer Stage in Central Park with Jimmy Eat World. That's kind
That's
of
pretty cool.
right. But it's August 23rd. That's like prime. Maybe it's a weekday. I just take off work and go in. That would be pretty fun. Ooh, it is. It's a Wednesday.
Like what we're doing with Fish.
That would be cool. Cause like, you know, the last weekend of August, like I want to go down the shore, but a Wednesday. I've never seen a show in Central Park before.
Me neither. Isn't like I feel like the only person that plays there is like Dave Matthews, but I'm probably completely wrong.
I feel like all the Central Park shows are always free. Like, how do you police Central Park? Like, if there's a band there, you're just walking by. I'd have
Yeah,
to
I
look
don't
it
see
up,
them putting
but
like a fake fence up or anything.
yeah, I don't really know what the deal is, but I'm I'm seriously considering doing this because spend a day in the city. It'd be pretty fun. Could bring the girls, although they might not want to go to a big crowd in the city.
This is true.
All right, we'll just go. The girls can stay home.
Because we do have a pretty vacant like concert schedule. I think there's only two on the books right now.
Dude, it's crazy. And I just found out the Youngblood Summer Stage show I bought tickets for blindly in November, um, is on my dad's 60th birthday
Oh
weekend.
no.
So yeah, I can't go to that.
You can flip those pretty easily though, I'm sure, right?
I hope so. It's not sold out, but he only like just announced the tour this past week. It's with the Regrets, I think, who I don't think I know. And I want
Someone
to
else we knew was on there.
I want to say like Game Over or something along those lines. They have one song that is really catchy and popular, but that I mean that doesn't really help at all. I'm seeing if it's in my history here. Oh, Games We Play, Game Over. Um, Hey Ben is the one
Uh,
I know. It's just like boppy. I don't know. I wouldn't have been like dying to get there for openers, but it's irrelevant. Can't go. So
Speaking of summer stage, it's just gonna be like the first summer there's no Rise Again show in a
it
long time.
it feels that way. Like it seems like every summer since like I don't know, 2013, not counting COVID, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird not to have a Rise Against tour, but hopefully they're in the studio.
Or hopefully they like announce like last minute with like them and Bad Religion would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Still waiting for Bouncing Souls to announce their summer stage show too
Yeah, maybe they're waiting for the album and then they'll just like do a big announcement.
next week.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to another album?
Let's do it.
Um,
You want to do Miley or 100 Gecs?
let's do Miley. It's
Okay, yeah. It probably
100
won't be
gigs.
too long.
It was so weird.
A lot of
Yeah,
thoughts on that one though.
I don't have a ton to say about Miley. It was it was a good album. It was well written, well produced. Sounds amazing, but it wasn't really like my like thing.
That's pretty much how I feel. I mean, it feels like I loved her Plastic Hearts so much, like her last album. It was like so much up her alley of like classic like 80s rock. Like she had like Billy Idol, Joan Jett was on there. She had like that Edge of 17 remix with Stevie Nicks. It was like that was like constantly on play throughout that summer. And then like this one, I feel like it's just she kind of went like the Dua Lipa route, like it's like pop, synthy, dancey kind
Yeah.
of music, and
It,
it
it's
just didn't stick with me the same way.
it's kind of interesting because she touches on a lot of genres throughout the album, and then there's just like an overlay of pop over it, which I think is kind of cool. Because like I think the first song, Flowers, like was pretty funky, had like a good like driving bass line. But then
That
there
was like
was
that
like
song "Love Again" by Dua Lipa. I thought, if you know
I
that
don't
song,
I don't I probably know it if I heard it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Um there was like some country vibes on it.
R&B too, like that song "You."
Yeah.
That was like an Alicia Keys song in a way.
Yeah, it started with piano and then kind of like evolved from there.
Yeah,
She sounds so good on like Wonder Woman. It's just her and a piano. It's awesome.
yeah, she
Like
killed it on that one.
she's got a killer voice. Like it's
How do you feel?
definitely I think
Okay.
the album was like a success. Like it's if I was her, I'd be very proud of this album. I just it's not one I really see myself putting on.
Yeah, I think you said it best there. And I did read like this was her first album with Columbia after leaving RCA
Oh,
after
interesting.
8 years. So I don't know if maybe she just want to go in a different direction with a new label, or if
Yeah.
she's doing like the David Bowie thing where she's like, I'm gonna do this genre for this album and then do something completely different on the next one, which I'm completely cool with. I like when artists kind of
Yeah.
experiment a little bit.
Yeah. Especially like you could tell certain artists just have so much creativity in them that like they they just can't do the same thing.
No,
But
Muddy Feet was probably my favorite though, because I thought she went pretty hard
he
on that one.
would see ya.
Yeah, she's like, "Get the fuck out of my house," pretty much, like the whole song.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It had like those like trap drums going on, which was cool. Um,
I'm a sucker for Sia too. Like I love her voice.
yeah, she's got a great voice. I thought it was interesting with this song. Um, it had the most songwriting credits on it with 11 people having written on it, which I guess is just
11?
like
I didn't see that.
I guess it's just like both their teams work together. I mean, Miley doesn't have like a huge team. Like most of the songs were like her and like two other people, but this one had 11 and it's the shortest song on the album, which I just thought was interesting. Like most people and the shortest. But I agree with you. It was a cool song.
That's all we have to say about that.
That's all we have to say about that. Yeah. Uh I don't know. I like Miley. I think she's
I
cool.
do too. I'm
Kind of
not
like
sure I'll
grew
go
up with
back to
her
this
if you
one that
think about
much.
it. From like Disney Channel to now. It's like
The
she's
Climb,
always kind of been there.
her climb,
Her climb.
Party in
Um,
the USA.
great one.
Just reminds you of college every time.
Yeah, yeah. Got that easy to play guitar riff too, which like always used to like my friend used to always play it when he'd pick up a guitar. Like, are you playing Party in the USA?
Always hits.
Always hits. All right, we got to talk about 100 Gecs.
Do you want to save them for last, or do you want to save Bayside for last?
Um, all right, we could do Bayside and then we'll go 100 Gecs
Because like Bayside again left us wanting more. I feel like not in a bad way. It's just
in a great way.
yeah.
It's so good and it's only 3 songs.
It's like I need more. Like they had the Red EP, which is 3 songs, which we left us hanging. Then this is the Blue EP, which you said maybe they're doing some Weezer
Yeah.
references here. So we'll
Just
get
color coding.
Pink next, maybe,
We'll get a
or
white album.
Green.
It's it's so good though.
This kicks so much ass though.
Yeah. Only 3 songs, only 10 minutes. And I think every time I listen to it, I probably listened to it 3 times through.
Yep. First, I think it was like 4 times on Friday. I went through it.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
Bad Intentions is like your classic, like great Bayside song, and then with like How to Ruin Everything, I usually save this for the podcast, but I couldn't help myself, so I texted you Friday. I was like, they wrote a better new Avenged Sevenfold song than Avenged Sevenfold did.
which we'll get to.
Yeah,
Um it's so it's featuring Ice Nine Kills. Is it featuring like
I
a
was going to ask you that.
vocalist or like the band? Like you don't know either? I don't
I was
know.
hoping you knew.
I don't know.
I
I
can't tell,
guess like it felt like there was maybe some extra guitarings happening. So
which
maybe.
I'm all for.
Yeah.
That solo was just, as usual, sick at the end with Bayside.
Yeah. I gotta listen to more Ice Nine Kills.
I texted you that too.
Like I know they put out, I think it was them. They did an album last year maybe, and like every song was like referencing different like I don't want to say killers, but like killers in horror film history. They had a song about like Freddy and like Jason, like that kind of stuff.
Weren't they
I'm
on the cover, I think?
I,
Or was,
I'm pretty sure it was them because they're like big like film nerds apparently.
if
Which
you look at the cover for I Heard They Kill Live, which is like their live album, it's like Freddy Krueger talking to Jason, and like Michael
yeah,
Myers is in the front along with like the Scream Killers here,
yes,
Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
yeah, like all these songs reference different movie killers.
I'd probably love these guys. I just gotta I've
That's
never listened to them before though,
what I was thinking.
with my
Is
horror movie love.
yeah, yeah, we gotta get these guys in the rotation.
Oh yeah, their last album was called Welcome to Horrorwood, The Silver Scream 2.
That's badass.
Jacoby's on a song. Buddy from I think is that Buddy Nielsen's Tenses Fail, right?
Yeah,
Yep, he's on a song.
that's cool.
Yeah, I've got to dig into these guys a little bit. They have like so many listens each month on Spotify.
Yeah, they're a huge band. They've been around, since like high school days,
I
our
don't know
high
why I
school
haven't
days.
listened though. Yeah, almost
Yeah.
2 million listens a month. 2 million listeners a month.
Ice Nine Kills. Was that Slaughterhouse Five?
Oh, they were in the Pump Goes Pop. I thought that's where I've heard of them before.
It was from some Kurt Vonnegut book, but I don't think it was Slaughterhouse Five.
Did they cover Nickelback on Pump Goes Pop 6? It looks like it.
That
They did
is
Animals.
awesome.
I'm assuming that's the Nickelback song.
It's not a 3 Days Grace song.
Could be.
That's
I
just
gotta
that's just Animal.
Now I've got to find out. It has to be the Nickelback song now.
But it's what? Punk Goes Pop.
But they were on Pump Goes Pop 6 and Pump Goes Pop 7.
So they're saying Animals by Nickelback is pop.
I think so.
Maybe they covered an entire Pink Floyd album.
Oh no, it was a Maroon 5.
Ah, yeah, that makes more
I
sense.
don't know that song though. It's a
No,
little less cool. I was
you
hoping it
don't.
was the Nickelback one.
They just like make it 10 times heavier. It's already
It does go pretty
pretty
hard, that
pretty heavy.
song.
You know what else goes hard? 100 Gecs.
Oh, yes, it does.
Who are these people? What is
So,
this band?
real quick at the top. So, I think when you were explaining them to me, I envisioned them as like one of those mashup bands, like where they mash up like a hip hop song and like a popular like rock song from the 90s or something. And it just works like super. I think it was Super Mash Brothers were like one of the bands in college for us with like Girl Talk.
Hmm.
So I thought they were like one of those. It was just like two DJs. They mashed together like hit songs and people love it.
Yeah.
But this was significantly different than that.
Yeah.
Significantly more
it-
different than that.
It's it's weird. It's all over the place. Like my favorite part about this album, 10,000 Gecs, is that they clearly have the skills and talent to make awesome songs in any style they want.
Which was
And
awesome.
they choose to use this power to be silly motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like opening the album with the THX sound effect from like the beginning of like Star Wars and like ET, like that
Yeah.
visual effects used to be on like VHS tapes. I was like, wait, I know that sound on like Dumbest Girl Alive, like the first 30 seconds, I think they put that clip in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
they were silly throughout this entire thing though.
when Frog on the Floor came on, Frog on the Floor, where'd he come from? Nobody knows where he'll go.
Did
I'm
Trey
like,
write this?
that's seriously. I'm like, are they about to sing? I'm like, they're not gonna sing this whole song about a frog, are they? And
Oh, they did.
it's exactly what they did. I think there's a part at the end where they just start saying ribbit.
And that goes into Doritos and Fritos,
Another
which
classic.
which sounds like a B-52 song from like the 80s.
Yeah, they use like I don't know if it's auto tune or what. It's just like this synth overlay on their voice, and it's really fun. You could tell
But
they're not using it to like sing better. They're just using it as a tool
yeah,
to be goofy.
but then that one goes into Billy Knows Jamie, which is a straight up new metal song from like the
That's
late 90s, early 2000s. It was
that
literally like a Corn throwaway song.
is so good with the turntable and everything. Oh man.
So I text you like, "This is Corn."
Corny?
How
No.
Corn used to be.
Do you think these tattoos on their album cover are real? There's no way he has that giant music note.
I hope not, but
I really hope not,
based on their
because
music, I wouldn't put it past them
yeah.
either.
Do they ever, their faces are covered? I wonder if they ever show their faces.
Yeah, because like the last album, they were like facing a bush.
Yeah. My favorite is if you scroll down in Spotify to their about section, it's like them dressed as wizards, like skulking across a crosswalk. The picture's taken with like cars in front, moving. Like it's the weirdest thing in their bio. I think I've read this before, but I'm gonna read it again because I don't care. Um, they destroyed a competition with their army of lethal bangers, critically heralded as very good and music. Their ambition knows no bounds.
They're great.
They are music. Yeah,
I very much enjoyed this.
they would be like the perfect band to see at a festival. There's no chance I go see a show by them solo, but I would love to see them.
It would be a fun time though.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say no chance. I mean, if they were going to play Starland or something, like
I
I would
might
go.
go at
Yeah,
this
who am I
point
kidding? That would be a lot of fun.
because like we can all like skank along to "I Got My Tooth Removed," which again a ska song is on here
Yeah.
too.
It's so all over the place. It's a really easy listen, 25 minutes. Every song is fast and silly and
Yeah,
fun. Like I I would recommend just listening to this once just because it's so fun.
all the way through.
Yeah.
Like
Or
most
just
wanted person in the
yeah.
U.S. had the "Insane in the Membrane" whistle.
Dude, that song, I need to pull up the lyrics for this right now because it just caught me so off guard. Hold on, I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Um, um, you can see me on the fucking news and I'm laughing because shit's so funny. I just killed your dad, then I took his money. Queen of California, hot like the heat is. Got Anthony Kiedis sucking on my penis. Bars.
So I'm guessing they won't tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I mean, you never know. Oh my God. What a uh
Last question from me for you on this one. Hollywood Baby. Do you get like Blink, some 41 vibes? Like you can almost it's almost like a slowed down version of like the Hell Song or Walking Disaster. I feel like the
yeah,
cadence of the way he sings it, it's just very slowed down version of those songs.
I
Did you get
could
that?
definitely hear that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To me
It's like
that one,
little tiny wood Hollywood Baby, brand new Mercedes. Like when he sings that, it's like slowed down,
yeah.
but it sounds like
Even the riff is like da na 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 or like something like I mean
yeah.
that sounded like Sabbath right there, but that's not what I meant to do. But it's okay. But yeah, like that one had like uh we'll call it pop punk revival type sound to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they had the hardcore, they had the ska, they had Anthony Kiedis sucking on their penis. Is amazing.
They had like dancing like $1 million. It kind of sounded like that song Satisfaction,
Yeah.
that house song.
Yes. That one went kind of hard too.
Yeah, it had like some new metal. I wrote new metal satisfaction was like my description of that song.
What a what a wild I, I'm just glad this band exists and that they're successful. It's awesome.
I have to listen to their first album this week. I should have done
Yeah.
that Friday, but I was just so hooked on this one. I don't want to stop listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I was driving around with this one and the windows open, and then there were times where I was like, maybe I should close my windows.
Like with the Anthony Kiedis part.
I live in a school zone, so I have to be careful what music I blast. Um, we had we had some news before we get to skip repeat for this week. I think we should dive into this new Avenged Sevenfold single.
Yes, we should.
Um, it's called Nobody. Came out a couple days ago.
On Tuesday with
Yeah.
the announcement of a new album on June 2nd. Life is
Yes.
but a dream.
Yeah, it's gonna be a concept album, which they're big fans of. They did it with Nightmare, did it with the stage. Um,
Nightmare's so good though.
yeah, that might be one of like my favorite albums like ever. I don't go back to it a whole lot, but I should.
I wrote like a 10-year piece for a chorus in like 2020
About that one.
about that one. And I had so
Nice.
much fun just like binging it for like 2 weeks while writing that.
Yes. I wrote a paper in college on that album. Like pages and pages on it. It was great. I wish I knew where it was.
Whose class was that for again?
Uh
Is that
Ferguson.
Morano?
No, Ferg.
Berg.
Yeah,
Berg was the man.
that was a great. It was like music production, music industry or something. I was over on credits too because I switched majors, so like I really couldn't take any like extra classes. And I think I went over on credits just to take that class because I just really wanted to.
Probably worth it though.
Yeah, it was so fun. Um, so this Avenged album is going to be a concept album. I thought I screenshotted something about it, but I can't find it. But Avenged released something basically along the lines of like this is a concept album. It's like a journey through like life and death or something along those lines. They're big on this like philosopher, um, something Camus, I want to say. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it
Nostradamus.
right. Not Nostradamus. But this guy's like whole thing, I think, is that maybe that there's nothing after death or something like that. And that's kind of like what the music video for this portrayed, which was pretty cool. It's like the skeleton guy dies and he sees everyone like in the afterlife just like going about their business like usual and like he keeps going further. Then he finds like quote unquote paradise with like green grass and rocks, but then there's like barcodes on the bottom of everything, which I think is meant to like show that nothing's real.
Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot to unpack. What'd you think of the song itself? Kind of jumped ahead there.
So I'm just hopeful they just made the wrong selection in single. Like how some bands, like when they're putting out a new album, they put out a single, but it's like maybe one of the worst songs on the album in hindsight. I'm hoping that's the case here because I did not think this was a strong single whatsoever. I caveat that with if there was something wrong with M Shadows' voice over the last years, and that's why like, they've been in hiatus for so long, then
Yeah,
I kind of get that now.
I think he had like cancer on his vocal cords or something like messed
Now,
up like
well, now
that.
I feel like an asshole.
No, I mean, it doesn't change whether or not you think he sounds good. It
Okay,
just
yeah.
explains it.
So I thought he sounded like restrained here, like he was straining when he was singing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I told you because now I feel bad, but
I should have waited. Just think of things you do while straining.
while straining, then that was my thought of what he was doing when he was singing the song.
Eating
But
pasta. I eat pasta when I'm straining.
the day after eating pasta,
Ah, ah,
the morning
high
after eating
fiber.
pasta.
Yeah, his voice
But
was definitely sounded strained in it.
yeah, it held the song back a little bit. And even like I feel like the band was even kind of restrained. Like I know like you sent me the clip of the drums before, which they were good, and the solo was good, but it wasn't like your typical Avenged solos and like drumming that you usually expect. Like where it's overwhelming and like just incredible. Like this, I just feel like they were holding back, and I'm not sure if maybe it's a part of the concept, which is why it sounds like this. So maybe I'll hold some judgment till I hear the full album. But I don't know. I just feel like if this is the strongest single so far, we're in trouble.
Yeah, it's a weird single choice. There was a lot of things about this that when you think of them as like deliberate choices are really interesting from the single choice to there's really like no riff. The riff is just like bending a string the
It's like
whole song,
noise. Yeah.
which is a weird choice, but it is a choice. Like they're Avenged Sevenfold. They know how to write riffs. So they wanted to keep the main rhythm riff repetitive and simple. Like the song is a vibe, like for sure.
Yeah.
Uh his vocals too, like in the mix, like it sounds like they're behind the main
I
riff.
thought that too.
And I don't know if that's like a choice because they know that they're not as strong as like they used to be. It's got to be rough for him. Like your whole life you're a singer and now like you have to essentially relearn to sing while taking care of your voice if you want to like continue your career.
I feel like such an asshole right now. I didn't know that. I just thought like they took off time just because they were constantly touring. Like I didn't realize he actually had like health issues with his throat, and that explains why his vocals sound the way they do here.
I'm trying to find because I don't know for a fact that it was like cancer on his vocal cords. I just read a comment in a discussion, and one
About the
person
single.
yeah, had said that about his vocal cords. Like he definitely had surgery and like something was up. I don't know for sure if it was cancer or not, but
But there's a YouTube clip here. It says why Avenged Sevenfold M Shadows quit screaming,
oh,
and it's an interview with him.
all right. Well, we'll have to check that one out. Um, I thought Brooks Wackerman sounded really great on drums. Who he was the drummer for Bad Religion, which is pretty cool. I did not know that until I started reading up on it.
Is he a permanent member too now?
Yeah, so
He is, right?
he was
Yeah.
on the stage. That was his first album with them. And he just really holds down a groove here. And like during the guitar solo, he's just like he's drumming off beat, like intentionally off beat, and like doing these awesome fills along with the sweeps on guitar. Like it's really great drumming. And he's doing something on I think the hi-hat where it's just like a really fast, like steady thing while just, drumming with the rest of his body. It's just I don't know how drummers do it, man. They do so many different things. You hold down multiple beats with different parts of your body. It's insane. I don't
And follow like what the rest of the band is doing. Like I know, I think we'll kind of talk about it when we talk about the storyteller, but like vibing with like the bass player,
yeah.
like that's like a whole thing too.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
feel like we don't
you
really talk about bass when we talk about Avenged Sevenfold, but it's definitely like still
yeah.
there, obviously. But
Yeah. I don't think about bass too much. They have some I was listening
the
to
guitars are that much more powerful. That's why.
they're definitely a guitar driven band, but like the bass definitely holds it down. Like I think I was listening to Sidewinder the other day,
That's
and
a good
that
one.
has like the bass copies the guitar in a lot of like their older songs, which is pretty cool. Like the like I don't know, it's just all over the place. And then it was great on Nightmare, like Welcome to the Family or
Is that the one where it
um
has like like the driving ending? Like there's like a build.
for which
I'm trying
song?
to remember the Nightmare song.
Driving Ending.
It's like there's like a bridge, but it's like a really powerful bridge. Like dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun, dun, dun,
yeah.
dun. What song is that though?
All around, keep your fucking hands off me. Uh,
That is that it?
I think it is. I think it's Welcome to the Family.
Okay, that might be it then. I gotta look it up though.
No.
We're doing it live.
I, well, now you got me. It might, I don't know.
I know it's on that album though.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure about that. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just clicking around the album now and not talking. I apologize. Um,
Is it Danger Line or Buried Alive?
uh, yeah. Buried Alive.
Buried Alive.
What's it feel like? Took the wrong route. Watch it fall apart. Now you're knocking that. Yeah. 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 Buried Alive has is that the great intro?
It's
Yeah.
like quiet, right?
Yeah, it comes in with just like a really clean guitar, do 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 do, and then it's just got that's the bass line that got us here that I was trying to think of. Boom, 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 da 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 da. Yeah,
Yep,
I
it's Buried
used to
Alive.
just I used to just try. I was able to play through most of this album on bass, but they're not a band that I could play through on guitar. I can play parts, some riffs here and there.
Go to the 5 minute mark. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
You have it on now?
Yeah.
This part.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's
So
so good.
good. So good. They're they're an amazing band, like obviously, but they're going in this like experimental, like psych they're like prog metal at this point. Like
Yeah, they
I was
are.
listening to the stage this weekend and I want to listen to that more because I think that's an album with a lot to unpack, and I don't think I've given it the credit it deserves.
I have to go back to that one too. I
Um,
mean, it's been 6 years. It's like I barely remember what happened in 2020. So like
yeah,
2017 is
yeah, a lifetime ago.
yeah.
I read a good point too that they're making the music they want to make. They have enough heavy hitters and singles where they can carry a live show. So it's like they've they've earned this, like and it's not gonna like destroy the band by any means.
No.
So I get it. And then I also get the fans that are like, I just want like great riffs and solos and not like this weird rush metal. Like,
I like me some Rush though, but
yeah,
I wasn't getting that from this.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I hear the word prog and I just think of Rush. But
Coheed.
yeah,
What did
it,
Blake think of it, front of the pod?
um, I didn't get too much thoughts from him. He definitely mentioned the vocals and let's see, let's pull it up. Yeah,
I
he
think
said
we
that.
should book him for May for a roadmap before this comes out.
Yeah, I'll get on him about it. Um, he said not where I thought they were going. I have mixed feelings, but like I need to listen to it more. Pretty
I think it's where we all
pretty
stood.
middle of the line take right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, then it was my other friend in our little group chat, Kyle, friend of the pod, who mentioned like his voice seems off.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest takeaway for most of us.
Yeah, yeah, I miss the screams, but I mean it is what it is. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Can't damage your vocal cords anymore.
Yeah, I definitely think this is I mean, I don't think like I know because the band said it, but this is an album that is going to be one big piece of work and it all needs it's a concept album. So it needs
Yeah.
the whole album to like really judge it. So maybe they just liked this song, thought it was cool and put it out. I don't necessarily think just because it's a single, they're like this is the best song.
Yeah. I'm
If
hoping
anything,
not.
maybe they'd want to save the better songs for when the album hits. They've been working on this for like 4 years apparently. So
Yeah, I feel like we might need to
yeah.
take like a week between to talk about it just to digest it all when it comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean we could give initial thoughts, but definitely need to spend some time with it. When does it come out? Is there a date?
June 2nd.
All right.
This will be a slow
Man.
cooker as opposed to a microwave.
I'm so excited. They put out another single,
I did not
Microwave.
know that.
Yeah. Now they have three out, and I'm like,
Is it an
what do I
album?
do? I think there's going to be an album. So now I don't want to listen, but I'm also seeing them. So like I want to listen. So yeah, we'll see. See what happens. But I'm glad Avenged is making music. I'm glad they're back. I would love to see them again. So if they tour, I'd like to get on it. It's just they seem like one that they're really big now. It might be hard. Like they're gonna
They
play like MetLife or something, I bet.
they announced like three shows and one of them's the Garden.
Damn. But at least they're a band that's built for that. Like seeing Blink at the Garden, it's like I want to see this kind of music in a club.
Yeah,
Like but they're too big to do that. Whereas Avenged, I mean,
it's
I'd
a
love to see them in
production,
a club, but like it would work fine in an arena because they're stadium rock. So
and they're gonna like set things on fire and have
yeah.
like cool things on video going by.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are playing the Garden?
They are with Falling in Reverse.
Oh, all right. Let's get to our skip and repeats. Okay. Skip and repeat. Uh, Brett, you wanna kick off with yours? Do you want to just start with your skip since just mentioned them?
Which you just kind of gave a little tease. So my I'm like losing my voice this morning. So my skip is Spirit Box dropping off the Falling in Reverse tour. So following pushback from their fans, like people are wondering why the hell they're touring with this asshole who's like a horrible human being,
Ronnie Radke.
Ronnie Radke. And so they gave in, got off the tour, but this sparked like a massive debate online that's like still going on this week. Because I think like, you made a great point when we were talking about it offline that they knew what they were getting into bed with when they signed up to go on this tour. And it's kind of weird for them to act like, oh, we didn't know this, so now we're going to drop off. When clear they had
Yeah,
to know because like he's been an asshole and a shitty person for a really long time.
I know how much you hate him.
I can't stand him. I used to, and it's sad because like I used to love like when he was with Escape the Fate, and I think like that first
I
Falling
mean,
in Reverse album was great. And
I
then I didn't realize what a shithead he is, and I just kind of I stopped listening because I'm like I'm not going to give this asshole any time of day from me.
I I I would have to just push back and almost say to the point that I don't care what he does because that first Escape the Fate album is so good.
It's a
I
classic in the genre.
love that album. And he's not with that band anymore, so you're giving Escape the Fate money. I mean, he'd probably get plays because he wrote it,
Yeah,
but it's like a different
like
time and
Guillotine.
he's like a different that Ronnie from that time I almost see as like an entirely different person, which isn't true because he was kind of like an asshole with them. I remember him promising to do an acoustic set after a show I saw back when he was with Escape the Fate. He said he'd do an acoustic set in the parking lot after, and then he locked himself in his trailer and got drunk and never did it.
Sounds like Ronnie.
Yeah.
Although now there's some like darker accusations against him, and he's
Yeah,
like
it's
going after accusers online. It's just really,
yeah.
really dark
It's
now, and
getting
it's
bad. I couldn't pull up the tweets. I'm not a Twitter guy, and I got really mad at Twitter the other day because I just wanted to see what he
what
was
he
saying
said.
that was
Yeah,
getting people mad. And every single tweet by him says it's blocked because of sensitive content, and I have to like change a setting. But you can't change the setting from mobile. You have to do it on a browser. And that
Elon's
just
fault.
that just annoyed me. Like, why would you have certain settings not accessible through mobile? Like,
Elon.
what? Yeah.
He
Speaking
fired
of
all the people who could do their jobs.
speaking
So
of assholes.
him and Ronnie
um,
would probably be friends. So
Probably. So yeah, I think he made a bunch of bad comments towards the trans community and especially uh Spirit Box having like a female singer probably gets they get held to a different standard maybe by their fans. Um
I think it goes against
I
their
don't know.
beliefs
There
too.
this
Like, I believe they're pretty active in like supporting
yeah,
that community.
exactly. So like you can't you can't be a hypocrite or like your fans are going to turn on you,
Yeah,
which is what happened. And there's two camps here because this gets into the whole like culture wars of like political correctness and giving in to this and that. So like I'm not trying to touch that, but I do see um I see why fans are upset. We just talked about it. And then I also see what we were talking about before, how they agreed to this tour. And then there's the whole middle ground of like, are people actually mad or is it like a loud minority on Twitter? And it's like,
you can't tell the difference though.
you really can't. And I think ultimately the band should just like stick to their beliefs and do what they want to do. But it also is, I see how it's like kind of annoying where it's just like people online get mad and then like you have to listen or like your whole career falls apart. And it's just tiring because it's like all the
Yeah,
time. But
I think like Under Oath is getting it too, but I'm pretty sure they're still on the tour. Like they're not dropping off.
yeah, I don't know. It's a tour, like whatever.
And
I just
he was like tweeting through it all, be like, "Oh, look at all these sold out shows I have. Like,
yeah.
try to cancel me if you want. It's not going to work." Like things like that. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I don't
I'm
think
not
he's gonna
giving
get
him any
canceled.
time of
They're a
day.
huge band, but uh, everyone's just so mad all the time. But
Yeah,
I guess you reap what you sow, you know? If you're gonna be an asshole and a divisive person, then this is inevitable.
yeah.
I
Just
just
don't be a shitty person.
yeah, I just feel bad for Spirit Box having to like get in the middle of it and like catch all this flack
Yeah,
because they're
because
probably just like Falling in Reverse is a huge band. This would be good for
good
us.
exposure, man.
Yeah, but that's, you know, decisions have consequences and they're dealing with that and it's fine. Like I think it sounds like they're big enough that they can just like still tour and like they don't need Falling in Reverses.
Rise Against should tour and pick them up.
Yeah, that's a great call. That would be awesome.
The complete opposite of Falling in Reverse.
Yeah, for real.
As far as people standing up for good causes.
Yeah. All right, so let's change it to positive talk. What's your repeat for the week?
So my repeat was Ticketmaster taking sort of an L thanks to the Cure. They may have cured our Ticketmaster hatred, but not really.
It should change their name to The Solution.
But so I guess like they weren't aware of how insane Ticketmaster fees have been lately, and they got just as pissed off as their fans did at what at what Ticketmaster was charging fans to go to their shows. And he was like just tweeting through it in all caps,
Yeah.
like clearly enraged by what Ticketmaster was doing to the point where Ticketmaster gave in, and people were getting like between like $5 and $10 refunds, which I know is
Yeah.
not
It's
that much compared to what tickets cost now, but it's something. It's a step in the right direction, and I feel like we need more artists to do things like this.
yes. The transparency is awesome. To really see someone exactly telling you how it goes down from a major band like this. Because they charged $22 a ticket, and then there was a $10 service fee, a 750 processing fee, and there was there was one other fee, but I don't remember what it was for.
Like you're
But
charged fees now for like mobile tickets, which makes no sense because it used to be like you have to pay like $5 extra to have it printed and mailed to you,
yeah, which
and it was like
there's
free
at
for
least
mobile. But
logic
now they're
there.
charging for mobile.
Yeah, mobile
Where?
delivery, they put it as.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a $22 ticket winding up at $50 is wild. And
Fees being more than a ticket.
yeah. So he was saying what is it? Robert Smith? I
Yep,
think. Yeah,
legend.
legend. I listened to
Disintegration.
one of their albums the other day and it was
Disintegration is the best one.
yeah. Yeah. It was so good. Like it's all I want to listen to now and like I knew we had the pod. I had to listen to other things as well. But I really want to go back to this. It was so good. It's making me want to see them live. Like this is winding up being like amazing like PR for him. And that's definitely not why he did it, but it's a great side effect. Also, this album came out in 1989. It's
It's
nuts.
incredible though, and I
I
learned about it because of South Park. And like one of the first episodes, like I think Robert Smith comes and like saves the town.
oh yeah, with the band's Moop
Yeah,
or whatever it was. I
he like
forget.
fights off like a rap. What is it? Is it Barbara Streisand? Like the Streisand like
Yes.
giant
The
robot
Trapper
thing.
Keeper.
Yeah, and he fights her off,
That
and like
was
he's
one of
going
the
off into the sunset. And I think it's
season 4. It was one of
yeah,
the first episodes I ever saw too.
yep.
Because I had
Was
that
it
we had that on DVD, the little box set.
was it Stan or Kyle that's like Disintegration is like an all time. He said like Disintegration is an amazing album, and I'm like, oh, I got to go listen to that. And then like it blew
Yeah,
my mind. It's still like probably one of the best albums of all time.
it's so good. I knew them because of Blink, but like I never really dug in. And
No, they're very good.
I had no idea Love Song was not a
Not
311
311.
song. Like, my bad. I did not know that. Great album. But he was he was saying about all of this, like he mentioned dynamic pricing. He's like, which we didn't opt into, and he's like, all these artists, like if no one opted into it, it wouldn't be a thing, like obviously. But it's like he's putting the blame on the artist also because Ticketmaster, like they know their role. They know they're the villain. They're gonna take the heat, but the artists are also profiting big time. Which like you want artists to profit, but within reason here. You don't want $1,000 tickets. That's insane. So I'm talking myself in a circle because I do want artists to profit, but like it's too much. I don't know
Yeah,
how else to put it. Like how bad does an artist want to profit versus their fans being able to see them? I think that's really what it comes down to.
this was like the best way for them to see a profit because like you go to a show, if the ticket's not too crazy, like fans will more likely to buy merch and
Yeah.
things like that. But you meanwhile, if like they're breaking bank just to get into the show, they're not going to buy any merch if they already spent like 200 to get in the door, and then you want them to buy like a $50 T-shirt. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
And I think of the amount of bands like Avenged Sevenfold is a big one because we were just talking about them. They're on my mind. But like seeing them on Nightmare Tour was such an amazing experience and such a good time that it made me a fan. Like I might not have
Incredible
stuck
tour.
with them the way I did if I didn't have those concert memories attached. So I think there's something to be said for that. And these artists can make fans and keep fans by giving them these great memories and experiences. And if you're pricing them out of it and they don't go, like maybe I don't see Avenged and then they put out Hail to the King and I'm like, "Oh, I don't care. Like I don't they're fine." But
That's another
instead
great
like
single.
you that was a great album. I
Yeah,
I know it was a step it was like a Black Sabbath cover album almost, but it was
still good though.
a great album. Great to learn guitar too, also, because it's like simple, groovy riffs. Um, we're all over the place. Controlled chaos. But yeah, rock that's it's a great thing that he's doing. I don't know how much like you said, like $5 to $10 is like nothing, but at the same time, the fact that Ticketmaster gave in and is them admitting that these fees are BS. Because if the fee, like you said, like if it was like a print and mail fee, then they would turn around and be like, no, we charge this because this, and here's why. They clearly don't have that.
No,
Yeah.
like they just cracked open the door now, and I'm hoping it gets kicked down.
Yes. I mean,
But
it's gonna take artists doing what he's doing. And sadly, I think so many artists are such a huge machine that like, I don't know.
need Taylor Swift to do something like this too,
No, she played
or
like
Beyonce.
she played
Their fans will.
Taylor Swift played 44 songs at her show the other night.
I saw that.
It's insane.
She's
Shout
top of
out to
her game
her.
right now.
Giving
Yeah.
people their money's worth, at least.
If you're paying $1,000, you're getting
Yeah, for real.
definitely that type of quality. But
Yeah.
then again, you should never pay $1,000 for a concert.
No. Unless, you're a millionaire and $1,000 is $10.
Yeah.
But even then I would just buy all the tickets and I would give them to everyone. I'd be a Robin Hood of concerts. I wish. My repeat for the week is a new single by the band Heart Attack Man. They're from Ohio. Like just good pop punk rockers, whatever you want to call it. It's called Freak of Nature. Huge Sum 41 vibes. And I think these guys are gonna blow up soon.
I hope so. I thought they were gonna after what was it, Fake Knife? No, not Fake Knife.
Fake blood.
Fake Blood. I thought they're gonna blow up after that album. So I'm hoping maybe this one gives them that extra push. Because like that was a
Yeah.
great album.
Yeah, that was a really, really good album. What was yeah, I can't remember the specific songs off it that I liked. I basically like binged this album for like 2 weeks and then kind of forgot about it. Like
The
I
whole
didn't go
thing is
back
good
to it
though,
too
from what I
much.
remember.
Yeah. It's a great like 30-minute fast pace. Like it's just it's exactly what I want out of like this kind of music. And this new song just seems even better. It's like a great direction. I'm excited. I feel like these guys will get on a tour, maybe as an opener. Hopefully, it's just with like the front bottoms or someone like that we really like.
741 maybe whenever this new album drops.
Yeah. Dude, where is that album? Because when I was going through
It's
our
been a
clips
year
the
since
other
like they
day,
announced that.
yeah, we talked about that on like the first episode, I think, which was a year ago. Shout out us. Um,
But if it's a
no,
double album, they're pretty much making two albums. So I'll give them
yeah,
some benefit of the doubt, but I would like it sooner than later.
yeah. I just don't know why you would announce it and like talk to Rolling Stone and stuff if it's not even within a year of being ready.
Building that hype.
I guess so. I mean, they did go on tour and whatever. It'll get here when it gets here, but I want it. I want it. What is my skip for the week? Oh, Green Day is in the coffee business now. I think if you follow any sort of music on Instagram, you've probably been seeing this ad. It's through like Oakland Coffee, I think, out in Cali, and it's just like Green Day selling coffee. I don't know. It's weird. But it's a skip for me because they said they'd send a free bag, and when I tried to get my free bag, the only way to get it was to sign up to a subscription service for like 6 months of coffee. And that pissed me off. So sorry.
Big time boo there.
Yeah. What did you call it, Brett? Long brew?
How are they not using their songs for these coffee names? I was like sitting here yesterday trying to think of like other ones. It's like Java of Suburbia.
That's
Long Brew is still my favorite though.
long brew
It's
is
right
great.
there. Just come on.
Yeah. They could
Brain Brew.
yeah, sell like four different types of beans and call it the basket case. Boom.
Ooh, there you go. Brain Brew? No.
Green brew?
Brain Brew
Grain brew.
instead of Brain Stew.
That's pretty good. I like that. Um, Boulevard of Broken Beans.
I like That's a really
Uh,
good one.
uh,
What else we got?
yeah.
Is that it?
Uh, yeah.
I think so.
Home brewing. It's not really like funny.
Still works though.
It works. What is this? I'm on American Idiot Deluxe right now. There is three songs at the end that I am not familiar with at all. Too Much Too Soon, Shoplifter, and Governator,
I've never heard any of those songs.
right? And they're attached to American Idiot. I mean, I have the vinyl and the CD, and those songs aren't on it, so
It's like part of the Broadway show.
may maybe unless they just this is a deluxe edition, so maybe they just added like three B-sides. I don't know. I don't know what these songs are. Shoplifter sounds kind of familiar. I don't know. But yeah,
To
sorry,
dig
Green
into
Day.
that.
I'm not gonna buy your Java of Suburbia.
How can you not use your song titles for coffee? People would buy it probably just based on that.
They had one, and the only one they did use, I don't know if it was a song title, but they used that stupid unicorn rainbow thing on the bag. It's like, why would you put your like worst albums art on the bag?
The art that got people excited thinking like this was going to be a sequel to American Idiot, and it was
Yeah,
not that at
not at
all.
all. What if they used the logo of like the dude holding the hand grenade, but like changed the hand grenade to like a bag of coffee beans?
Or just have a coffee cup in his hand.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah, Green Day selling out, selling coffee.
Should we transition from Green Day coffee to someone that drinks 5 pots of coffee?
5 pots of coffee a day. 5 pots.
I told
That's
Sandra
like
that story. She's like, 5 cups? I'm like, no, pots.
pots. That's like 40 cups. I don't know how
I
big
don't know
he
how he's
is.
still here, like how his heart didn't explode.
Insane. All right, so let's get into GA Book Club Storyteller Part 4. One part left. I think this was my favorite part yet. I don't know
I
about you.
This is the quickest I read through a section, I think. Like I couldn't put it down. They were
It
that good.
it was like he transitioned from like history to just cool story after cool story after cool story.
And I'm glad he acknowledges like that his life is pretty much like a fantasy.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
like takes the moment to like kind of like sit in it and appreciate it. He's not just like, oh, I'm so special. I get to witness all this. He's like, I can't believe this is happening to me.
Yes. That was definitely my biggest takeaway also. Like he he's like us. Like he's a fan and he just is so like appreciative and just thinks it's cool to meet, like he was saying how like these people that influenced him and his life with their music, like being able to like meet them or just say thanks. Like the story with Lemmy was amazing.
That was a great one to
That
end the section too.
Yeah, that choked me up because he he walks up to Lemmy. I think he said he saw him, was it in a casino?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got like his like cowboy hat on and he's like sunk down playing like a slot or something. And Dave's like, I gotta go like talk to him. So he just goes up and he says like, "Hey man, like you're a big influence on me. Like, thank you. Just wanted to say that." And Lemmy just like grunted like, what did he say? Like, "You're welcome," or like no problem. And then Dave like goes to walk away and he just goes, "Sorry about your friend Kurt." Like, damn,
That was, yeah.
damn.
Even hearing it again, like
Yeah. Like, oh, chills. Yeah, just because you think like you thought he was gonna like almost big time him, or just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm glad. Nice to meet you. But then he like made it
he knew who he
personal and
was.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it happened a few times with him. Like the Elton John story was pretty cool too.
Little
Where like,
Richard too, he's just standing outside an airport and his
yeah,
little Richard's son just happens to walk up to him.
yeah, he's like, you want to meet him? He wants to meet you. Crazy.
He just signs a picture of him and gives it to
Yeah.
him.
The Elton John one was great. They saw him in London and his friends were like, go say hi. And he's like, I don't know Elton John. Like, I'm not gonna go like say hi. And then the car Elton John was in stops, backs up, and he gets out and says hi to Dave. Like, what?
That was so cool.
Amazing. Amazing.
There's a lot of that
So
throughout
many
this
good
section
ones.
too.
Bringing John Paul Jones to medieval times.
That was for his 40th birthday.
Like a bunch of grown ass wasted adults at medieval times, and then like just John Paul Jones is there too.
I have to revisit
Ridiculous.
that album because I feel like I didn't appreciate it at the time, but knowing like where my music taste is at now, I feel like I'll probably enjoy it. Like where
Crooked
I'm open.
Vultures,
Yeah,
or yeah, I listened to it yesterday morning, or was it today? I don't know.
I remember new was it New Fang?
I don't remember the song title specifically. Is that the
I think that was
album
the
name or?
single. I think that was
Yeah,
the single.
it was
I might be
good.
mixing
It
that up
was
with another
like
New Fang though.
bluesy vibes and like I don't know, just seemed like a
They were
normal
having
like
fun.
rock album. It wasn't a little like weirder than Foo Fighters gets. I think was like the point of this. Because what did he say? It's like you could only play like My Hero so many times before I'm gonna like lose my mind. Like
Yeah,
needed
but
another
Learn to
outlet.
Fly, he was saying.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Which is so super understandable. Like even coming from him, like he'll be the first to tell you how grateful he is and how much he loves doing these shows. But it's gotta be exhausting, like playing the same songs all the time. But
I also couldn't tell if he was like shitting on the song Wheels in that chapter, like 'cause that was like the new single for the Greatest Hits album, and like I love that song. It's like so like out of left field for them, but it's like pretty and the lyrics are really good and kind of sums up the whole Greatest Hits album. So I'm hoping he wasn't like saying that was a shitty song they put together because I think it was like the first one I did with like him reuniting with Butch Vig.
oh yeah, true. I don't know. It sounded like he was just like tired.
Yeah, that's why he had 5 pots of coffee a day.
Yeah. Life was picking up speed is what he just kept repeating.
Kept repeating that.
Yeah. I like how he also mentions he's like, this is why I've never tried cocaine.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I would be dead in like a week. Playing at the White House was really cool. Especially him having like grown up in DC.
Oh yeah. And the
And like,
Pat story too. Like
well,
Pat was like so overwhelmed with being there because like his father was like a slave, or like his
oh
great
yeah,
great grandfather was a slave. I mean,
yeah, yeah, that was amazing. The the Admiral of the Coast Guard asking, getting him a sandwich.
do you want anything? It's like, oh, some food are you having? It was an admiral that went like down the cafeteria to get him a sandwich.
Yeah. But I liked at the end of that, like he was talking about how like he was nervous. He was because he was playing in front of the president and Paul McCartney, and he was nervous. He was feeling like how did I get here? I don't deserve this almost.
Dude, speak.
Yeah, dude, speak. And then he's just said like I stopped myself and just said like you are here. This is happening. So like don't ruin the moment or waste it by like being nervous or being scared or feeling undeserving. Like just own it,
You know,
which I think
that's
is a
probably the
good motto for life.
yeah. I was gonna say that's probably the best life advice in the section.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a
Um,
bunch of like little sprinklings though throughout this that got pretty deep.
yeah, yeah. It's my mom gave me this book about like happiness that she wanted me to read, and it's like just one of those like self-improvement type books, but I just it's not sticking for me. It's a little too like too much God for me.
Yeah.
But it's like it's crazy. Like I'm getting more out of this Dave Grohl book than like
Oh
any
yeah.
self-help book. Like just reading someone accomplish so much while still being humble and grateful. Like
Like it's
way
very rare.
way more lessons in this that aren't even being forced. Like the point of this book isn't even to like tell lessons, but like they come naturally. Yo, how crazy was the haunted house and the UFO stuff?
That was creepy.
That was so
Both
creepy.
parts are creepy because like is Dave Grohl an alien that we don't know of?
It sure sounds like it. Because he was what? It was in Australia and he went to see like a really supposed to be a really good psychic. He was kind of rolling his eyes at it. And she asked him if he sees like dead people or anything. He's like, no, but like I dream about UFOs a lot. And she's like,
Those weren't dreams.
those aren't dreams. What? I mean, who knows? They're probably dreams. Nah, we are not alone.
They are the
We
Foo Fighters, and they are
It's
on
true.
Roswell Records.
Yeah. He said that's where the sky is a neighborhood came from because he
The
had this
music video, yeah.
he said the most vivid dream he ever had where it just straight up felt real was like a bunch of people being like lifted up to the sky. And I don't know, I think the aliens said something too. I don't remember.
That was
But
pretty cool to explain that video.
yeah, absolutely crazy story. We need to get him and Tom DeLonge on a podcast together to just talk about aliens for like an hour.
That'd be must listen.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would, oh man, I don't know how to make that happen, but we gotta
Somebody
try.
needs to though.
Yeah. What else was good from here?
ACDC.
AC. Do you mind if ACDC comes to dinner? What do you say? He's like, I don't want to call my wife stupid, but that might be the dumbest
Yeah.
question I've ever been asked in my life.
He's like, yeah, so I sent back, duh. I felt
uh,
very like that was very relatable though, because like that
yeah,
was one of the first big rock bands I got into,
they're
especially
they're
like Dirty
huge.
Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
that
kind of made
is.
me want to go back and listen to them some more because I haven't in years.
You should
They're
do
like
it.
as straightforward rock as it gets.
Yeah, I was listening to not AC/DC, but same vein. Like Guns N' Roses was on the radio a bunch this weekend. Like I just kept hearing them, and like Guns N' Roses reminds me a lot of Avenged Sevenfold. Like there's a lot of like their voices are like very similar. The way they like hold notes and like stretch things out, and
They
then
were
just
definitely
like
inspired by Guns N' Roses, that's for sure.
big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
which isn't we're not learning anything new there, but I just was thinking about it. Just thinking about it, thought I'd share it, you know.
Just like how ACDC impacted Foo Fighters. Like Dave runs around like a madman on stage after like seeing Angus Young do it.
Yes.
So it
That's what
explains so much about their live show.
That's why I'm so excited for See Here Now, because the one time I saw Foo Fighters, he wasn't able to run
Using
anywhere.
his throne.
Yeah. Yeah. I've now seen two really famous artists known for running around, and
Rage Against the Machine.
yeah, Rage Against the Machine and Dave Grohl, I saw both just sitting there. So I need to see both bands again. And I was talking about the other day, I would absolutely go back to Rage Against the Machine if they came back around.
I got to see them next
That
time.
was so good. So good. Um, yeah, that pretty much sums up part four for me. I'm excited for part five. I'm gonna be sad to part ways with this book.
I have a question for the end, but I wonder if I just ask it now.
Yeah, ask away.
Do we think we get a part two?
Just more
I hope.
stories.
I hope we do.
I hope so. It sounds like he has plenty of stories. Like there's got to be so much that he didn't put in this book. So
Be curious how the Taylor stuff impacted him though,
yeah,
because like he's frequently a character in all these chapters.
it's
He's like
true.
the first one Dave always calls to go do something. He was with him on the scooter when he got a DUI in Australia. He called him about like the ECEC like post party.
Yeah,
He's like constantly in the background here, and it's a little bit of a bummer. But like, of course, at the time he wrote this, like Taylor was still here.
yeah. What happened to the movie? Studio 666, the like horror movie they were doing?
I think it
That
came out. I suppose he was awful, but
uh
is it not available anymore?
no, I didn't realize it had come out. I wasn't sure if like after the Taylor stuff they like didn't complete it or I don't know.
I think they did. Like, do you remember Dan Gunderman?
Yeah.
I saw him like towards the end of last year. And he said he saw it and it was like he's like don't. He's like it wasn't. He was truly awful. I was like okay,
Man.
well,
Maybe
I
you need
wouldn't
to
expect them to make a good movie, but
maybe you need to get like really high for it.
probably.
He
I mean, they make good documentaries. I still have to
yeah,
watch their van one.
I don't think I've seen that one, but the other one, you know, the one they did along with the album, uh
Oh,
I can't
Sonic
think of the name.
Highways.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
on
on
HBO.
that's on YouTube right now for free. So I might
It's really good.
give it a rewatch.
Really good album too, but a lot of people like shit on it. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was cool and like seeing the behind the scenes and how they pull all those influences and stuff. So I
And
want to
Sound
give it a
City was a good
watch.
documentary
Yeah.
about the studio.
Yes. Yeah, I think both of those are on YouTube. So
Yeah,
speaking of YouTube, one last thing before we wrap up. I want to just do a quick little hey remember because AFI is touring Sing the Sorrow. Well, all right, so they're not
I
touring
played
Sing the
one show.
Sorrow. They played an LA show and the entire thing is on YouTube. This guy, I should shout out his channel, but if you just search AFI Sing the Sorrow, it'll come up. Um, this guy basically like at my first thought, and I'm such a hater, but my first thought was like, you went to the show and you filmed the whole thing, like why? But
Just enjoy it.
yeah, but I was clicking through his channel and he does this. He goes to shows, he films the whole thing, he puts it on YouTube, and then with that money, he just keeps going to shows. So like he's kind of like created a little like niche for himself. So
He's
like
got 39,000 subscribers.
yeah, like it says like thank you for supporting the channel by watching this. Like you allow me to like follow these bands and do this. So I think it's pretty cool. Um,
I mean, I'll probably watch this video.
it's great. It's like I think it's like an hour set or so.
The
Um,
audio is okay.
it's it's phenomenal. It's it's so good. Like I'm so grateful that he did this so I could watch it. I just
If they're
you
not
know
touring it,
no. It's weird they're not touring it. I read somewhere that like they're pretty against like doing like these anniversary shows. But people really wanted it. Like Sing the Sorrow was like when they transitioned from like a punk band to whatever you want to call them now. Still very rooted in punk, but
they have some fun punk albums. Like those early albums are pretty fun.
yeah, yeah.
Was it
The
Art
Scarecrow
of
one, yeah,
yeah
yeah, it's
Art of
great.
Leaving or no Art of
Drowning?
Drowning. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. But for as much as like they apparently resisted doing this anniversary tour, there sure is a lot of Sing the Sorrow merch being advertised, so they're not resisting it too much. They put out a vinyl repressing that I really want.
I
Um,
need that one on vinyl.
yeah, there's some cool merch. They put out these. I was telling you about the fingerless gloves. I love fingerless gloves because they're good for walking the dog. But Nicole's like, you don't need AFI fingerless gloves. Yes, I do, but I don't. The finger
AFG, a fingerless glove.
nailed it. The fingerless gloves I have now have a little mitten part that fold back in Velcro, and then I could flip them up, cover my fingers. Pretty nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, pretty nice. So I guess I don't need a fingerless glove, but it there's some cool merch. Um, if they did a tour, I'd probably go see it and then buy the merch. But
I've never seen them, so I would love that.
buying merch through the web store just doesn't hit the same.
We
So
need more show announcements of bands we haven't seen before.
yeah, it's really like a bleak summer concert wise, which is I want to go to more shows, but it's also nice. There's been so many summers where like at this point in time, I could tell you what I'm doing like every weekend because of shows. So it's kind of nice being a little more open, but there's gotta be more than this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah,
Is that a
so
fish quote?
there must be something more to this. Uh we do have fish
We
to look
do.
forward to.
And it
That's gonna
makes me
be
feel
great.
less bad for purging for us here now, too,
Yeah,
for both days.
yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Um, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week. Um, we got a lot coming up next week.
3 new albums and a guest next week.
Yes, yeah. We will have a guest next week, so get excited for that. Um, a screaming guest. Just I'll just say that. We have new Fall Out Boy next week, Bouncing Souls, and August Burns Red.
Very curious how this new Fall Out Boy is going to be.
Yeah, me too. They've been doing listening parties at like record stores, so like people have heard it, which is pretty cool.
I heard don't
Um,
get too excited about the pop punk. So I'll sort
yeah,
of lower the bar a little bit for this then.
yeah. Um, I don't I don't have high expectations, so I think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Is that did I just contradict myself? Maybe, but
I just hope it's better than the last. I really didn't like Manic at all.
yeah. I'll have to listen to that again or just skim through it just to get some
It's
context. I
not
haven't
enjoyable,
I
but
haven't
you can
really
kind of.
kept up on Fallout Boy over the years. So like when I listen to Fall Out Boy, I listen to that to the Blue
The
album.
classics.
Is it Take This to
Take
Your
This to Your
Grave?
Grave.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
Under the Cork Trees, good one too.
Yeah, that one's
All You
good, but
Do.
I didn't I just always go back to Take This to Your Grave. That's my favorite. I'm sure Cork Tree I know like more songs than I realize. That was the one that was such a big album in high
Yeah.
school. Oh my God.
Sugar We're Going Down.
Of course. Oh, Dance Dance is on that? Of course, yeah.
Thanks for the memories on the one after.
Yeah, that was when they started
The pop.
moving. Yeah.
But then that song Thriller was so good with like Jay-Z in the beginning.
I don't remember. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a
It,
deep dive.
their
I
first
just
5 are really good. And then they
that's
just kind of,
I mean that's super solid.
yeah,
5 good albums and then just become a major
major
worldwide
pop
pop
band
band. Like
to the
good for them.
centuries.
Which means now it's time to come back. I mean, if there's any time to come back to pop punk, it's now.
It's
So
right now.
so we have just taken those expectations we didn't want to have and created
No,
them.
it's
Oh well.
I'm just keeping that comment you told me in the back of my mind where it's like if you're expecting a pop punk album, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I won't expect that then.
Okay. We'll see. I still expect it. No, I
I
don't
will
know.
take like
It's
half
fine.
pop punk and be happy.
Yeah, if they could just do like the way Miley put like an overlay of pop throughout her album, if they could have like those pop punk roots scattered throughout and they want to try whatever, I think
That would
that
be a
would be pretty
win.
good. Yeah.
But Manic was all pop and it was not. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Mm. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see next week. That's gonna do it for today. We love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us for 1 year. And here's to the next one. Thanks for the memories.
David Bowie.